threw the bits out of the windows. The teacher told him that was easily done. It was a windy day, and the tiny bits were scattered far and wide, even as the young man watched. So now go out into the street and collect as many bits of the paper as you can, the teacher ordered him. Next, the teacher ordered him, young man, now go out into the street and collect as many bits of the paper as you can. The young man was taken aback. But that will be difficult, he stammered. So it will be difficult indeed, but to give it a try, the teacher suggested. Then the teacher suggested that you just only try this. The young man went out. He returned half an hour later, exhausted. He had not been able to get hold out of a single torn bit from the paper, so he had torn up just a while earlier. So next, so this is what happens with the spoken word. The teacher said to him, once you have spoken the words aloud, so it is very difficult to take them back. So therefore, learn to think before you speak in anger. So remember, when learn to think before you speak in anger, so you have to spoken the words aloud, so it is very difficult to take them back. Okay, so finally the young man went out and he returned half an hour later. He had exhausted and he had been not able to get hold of a single word torn bit from the paper, and he had torn up just while earlier that paper. Okay, so now Socrates was one of the wisest men of the ancient world. Many were the youths whose lives he influenced for the better. So Socrates, so once you have spoken the words aloud, it is very difficult to take them back. So therefore, learn to think before you speak in anger. Okay, dear students, now we have to teach lesson. Once you have spoken the words aloud, it is very difficult to take them back. So therefore, learn to think before you speak in anger. Okay. Now Socrates was one of the wisest men of the ancient world. So many were the youths whose lives he influenced for the better. So Socrates counseled his disciples to keep their mouth shut and speak only when absolutely necessary. So, wise man, how many we know when it is right to speak? They asked him. So he replied, open your mouths to speak only after you have asked yourself 3 questions and received an affirmative answer to each of the 3. So replied Socrates. So what were the 3 questions? The first question we must ask ourselves before we speak is it true? So if we are not sure about the veracity of what we are saying, so it is better that we do not utter a word. When we utter words carelessly, so we ourselves become transmitters of untruth. Okay. So the second question to ask is it pleasant? Many are the empty remarks. So the first question we must ask ourselves before we speak is it true? So the second question to ask is it pleasant? So many are the empty remarks and vain settlements, statements that people make in idleness to hurt others. So it is better that these unpleasant words remain unspoken. Okay, the second question to ask is it pleasant? Okay, now move on the third question. So the third questions according to Socrates is it useful? Is our statement going to benefit the listener? Okay, now the third question according to Socrates is it useful? So is our statement going to benefit the listener? So will our words bring comfort to someone? Are we likely to help someone with what we say? So only in that case should we go ahead and speak. Okay.